So kicking off our Talented Ball project, the very first thing that we need to do is take a close look at our storyboards so that we make sure that everything we put together is going to lead to a final result that is going to match these storyboards. This is very important. So Steve, go ahead and walk us through these storyboards and let me know what you're thinking as you look at each of these different frames.
Sure, so we're starting out here with a crowd shot. We can see we've got a large number of audience members sitting on what looks to me like a stadium. And these audience members have got a lot of bounce and stretch. It says that it's going to be commotion. So I'm envisioning these audience members bouncing up and down. They're excited. They're prepared to watch a show. And we've got 0 to 8 seconds on this shot, so something's going to be happening with our camera, and our camera is going to be tracking across the crowd of bulls. We're going to have a nice long pan shot moving from left to right across our stadium and seeing all these audience members excited for the show. The crowd are cheering. Now towards the end of this shot, they're going to calm down, preparing for the show, and at that point we're going to cut to see the lead character in our show. He is the talented bull, and he's going to start off and there's going to be no light illuminating him, so really we're only going to see a stage. And what's going to happen is the shot begins with almost no light, but after a very brief moment, 2 main spotlights are going to come on and illuminate this character, and we're going to see this character breathing in and then breathing out. He's ready for his presentation, and he's going to start bouncing towards the camera, exiting the camera on the left of this frame. So you can tell from our character he must have a lot of squash and stretch as well. He's going to be bouncing up and down. He's going to be very animated, very excitable. So we're going to need to have a lot of squash and stretch on this guy. When he leaves the frame, we're going to cut, and we're going to see him enter a new shot from the right-hand side. And this shot's going to last between 11 and 16 seconds. It's a fairly long shot. And we're going to see the talented bull as he enters, and notice we have minimal lighting on the audience, so the focus really is on our character here. He's going to enter from the right of the shot and bounce towards our ladder. And as he starts bouncing up our ladder, the camera is going to track up with the character, following him all the way to the top of the ladder. It's not only going to track with our character, it's also going to pan around to the other side as we bring up our next frame. We're going to see it's going to pan around to the other side and see our bull jump onto the top of the diving boards. This is one long continuous shot, still continuing from 16 to 21 seconds. So now that we've panned around to the side, we're going to hold the camera for just a second and watch this talented bull as he bounces up and down on the diving board, preparing for his actual dive. So the bull's going to start bouncing, bounce further, bounce further, bounce further, and this is one long continuous camera shot flowing right into a crane shot over the top of our ladder, watching our bull make his final jump up, and he's going to fall down into the pool. He's going to fall, accelerating faster and faster and faster. Notice we can see our crowd, but they're in the dark and with depth of field, so these are going to be out of focus. It's going to be a blurry crowd. And we're going to see our bull fall down quicker and quicker and quicker, eventually impacting into the bottom of our pool, which we're not going to witness until the next shot where we cut and we see this bull falling past us extremely quickly. He's doing a flip through the air. This is his performance. This is his piece that he's really proud of. So he's doing a backflip as he dives. And he's coming down through the air, screaming towards the pool, it says in the storyboard. And the camera's going to pan down. It's going to be looking up at the bull on the diving board and very quickly pan down to watch the bull fall into the pool, where we cut back to the same camera angle we had in the third shot, and we see the bull impact into the pool, flatten out, and that's pretty much the ultimate demise of our character. He is now flat in the pool, and the crowd is going to be cheering as the bull's falling down. They're all excited because he's diving, and they're going to carry on cheering once he's impacted into the pool, because they're kind of a bit of a sadistic audience.
I guess so.
So in this final shot, we're back to the same camera angle to shot 3. The ball finishes a drop and lands in the pool, and there's going to be no water in the pool, so the ball is going to squash flat. And that's going to end our animated shot. So we can see there's a lot going on in this shot. We've got a lot of different elements that we're going to need to create, and we need to create them in such a way that an artist can go in and use all these different elements to construct everything that we need for this particular animated short. So what elements are there? Well, I guess we're going to need a floor for everything to sit on, and that could be a very, very basic item, but we do need a floor. From there, let's take a look back at shot 2. we can see in shot 2 that we've got a stage that our character is performing on, and the stage is where our pool's sitting and our ladder's sitting. So we're going to need some kind of stage surface, and it's that stage surface is going to need controls so that we can size the stage and position the stage exactly right for the shots we need. We're also going to need our lead character. He's kind of integral to the whole thing. So we're going to need control over the lead character. We're going to need to create a lead character in a way that an animator can come in and have a lot of control, but very easy control. They're going to need to be able to move this guy since he's bouncing all over the place. We're going to need control over squash and stretch. This guy's really, really animated. He's really passionate about his performance. So I'm thinking we're probably going to need some bending going on in there. And also, when he does that dive, he's going to flip. So we're going to need some very easy control for an animator to come in and flip our ball into the dive. We've also got a pool that the ball's going to dive into and a ladder that we need to create. And since we don't know what the artist necessarily has in mind with these assets, we need to make sure that we build an asset that allows for a great range of control of manipulating the shape of the pool, manipulating the shape of our ladder, the height of the ladder, the number of rungs, absolutely everything. So an artist can come in, they can position them in the scene, and they can set them up to basically get a composition that's as close to what the artist has envisioned in these storyboards as possible. Once we have the stage and the character, the pool and the ladder, we're also going to need to focus on our stadium of audience members. So we've got a stadium of audience members, and we don't know how the artist has envisioned this stadium, how many rows, how many columns, so we're going to have to give great flexibility, and we're going to need an audience of, well, spheres really, with various different facial expressions, hairstyles, shirt colours, mouths, eyes, noses. So we're going to need to give an artist full control of coming in, setting up a stadium with the dimensions, the height, the depth, the number of columns, number of rows he wants, and then a way of easily propagating with spheres onto that network, distributing these spheres all across our stadium so that we have a random crowd. But we kind of would really need more than that. We really would need an artist to have a little bit extra control to say, I want an audience member here and here and here. I'm really happy with everything that was randomly generated, but I want these extra audience members positioned in these specific places. So we're going to need to probably take that into consideration as well. So that's pretty much, I think, everything. It's going to be all of the various elements that we have for the construction. So let's bring up a final layer and take note of the various assets that we need to create. So let's hide out our layers, and I'm going to grab the pen. So, thinking back, we said we're going to need a floor. So let's write down that we need a floor. I need to zoom in on our whiteboard. Whoa, that's crazy big. So we're going to need a floor. We're going to need a stage. We're going to need our character. We're going to need a pool. We're going to need a ladder. And finally, we're going to need our stadium and our audience, which I guess we could just give that the name of something like the bleachers.
Okay.
So all of these assets, all together, are going to become our talented ball, which has a single L, I believe. So our talented ball.
Very nice.
Cool. So with that, we've taken a look over all of our storyboards. We've envisioned the project as closely as we can from those storyboards to how the artist has intended. And we've had to go in and think about exactly what kind of items and objects are we going to need to be able to construct the set and the scene and our character. And what kind of control might an artist need over such items such that we can set up the scene exactly as that artist has envisioned. So hopefully you've got a rough idea of where we're going in terms of our assets, which assets we need, our floor, stage, character, pool, ladder and bleachers. And over the next series of videos we're going to create all of these assets, keeping in mind that we need an artist to be able to set up this scene with these assets. And with that, that's going to conclude this video. Thanks a lot.